Going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Am I live? I think I'm live. I have some information on how to get involved in a manifestation webinar. Not webinar, sorry. I used to say webinar now. Manifestation live stream that I'll be doing after today's numerology reading. I'm going to tell you how to do that in a second. It'll literally be straight after this. I'm going to hop onto Instagram. There we go. Just have to be able to see myself so I know what's happening here. Just waiting for people to show up in the chat. In today's video, what I want to be talking about is numerology, the meaning behind specific numbers. I did it about 2 weeks ago, and there were some questions about numbers 434, 32, 823, 1111, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, which slipped by me. And so I wrote them down, and I'm actually going to answer them in this video. If you have any questions on the meaning behind specific numbers that you're seeing, feel free to write it out in the either super chat or in the chat below. I'm like, what? Oh man, did that just happen? Yeah, that just happened. Okay, here we go. All right, cool. Here we go. Hey, hello. Yo, you the man. Hey, Ryan. Yo, hi. So I'm going to be going live over on Instagram. I'm going to be doing a Q&A on manifestation. And I decided to post a tweet over on Twitter. A short video, and under that video you can put your questions related to manifestation, and I'll actually answer them over on Instagram. So I'm going to have Instagram open. I'm also going to have Twitter open. I'm going to look at your comments, and I'll be addressing your questions in today's live stream after this video. This video is on numerology. I'm going to be answering your questions on 1111, 444, whatever numbers you're seeing. I want to be able to channel some input, some advice for you, to you, from these beings, these entities that are trying to give a message to you from the other side, other dimensions, other planes of reality, because that's what happens. They want to be able to put a message across to you, and they think they're under the assumption that you'll just understand what 444 means. But sometimes we struggle, and that's why I'm here. If you want to get involved in the manifestation live stream that's happening over on Instagram after this, it's within about an hour's time from now, head on over to Twitter and type in Ryan_J_Cropper and you'll find me. Find that video and put in your question on manifestation. It'll just stay there, so I'll be able to look at it anytime throughout that live stream. Unlike this one where they keep moving really fast, and so your questions disappear pretty quickly, but I also have it open on my computer, so I'll be able to check through them. All right, cool. Let's go through some of these questions before I begin. How is it for you guys? Can you hear me fine? Can you see me fine? Everything okay? Before I get to your questions in the chat on YouTube, I'm going to address some of the ones that I missed on the last live stream. That's why you got the picture of me in the thumbnail with the book. What's poppin'? Yeah. How are you? I'm great, thanks. It's super hard in this room. But the Wi-Fi is good here, so it shouldn't cut it out. Yeah, Ryan's live. I don't have Twitter. Oh no. Maybe if you're over on Instagram, anyway, they do give you an option to post a comment, but it disappears just as quickly as these ones do. All right, cool. Okay, let's do this. Ugh. Showing some love, says Precious P. Thanks for the donation. Awesome. So, a couple of weeks ago, Revamp Skunk asked me the question, what does 1111 mean? And I explained in the last live stream that when you see 1111 on a clock, it's completely different as to when you see 1111 on a billboard, on a TV show, you know, on your planner, on Sky or Netflix or whichever streaming service you use. Whenever you see 1111 with the two dots in the middle, it means something different. Not only that, but most of these numbers mean something different to you. And so for this reason, I'm going to do a little tiny channeling where I'll simply just get the answer beamed into my skull, which, by the way, since I opened myself up that way in the last webinar, I've been able to channel some people who've passed on. And in one of my sessions, I managed to do it, and it was completely out of the blue. Just so happened that he had passed away the day before our session. For privacy reasons, I won't mention the person's name and or the person who passed on, but because I was so wide open, I started to get the deceased coming through, kind of tapping into some mediumship there. But let's go into a couple of weeks ago, 1111 revamp. Okay, so basically that 1111 was shown to you because you've been sitting on your hands, you know? Maybe you had a little bit of disbelief as to whether or not you could actually do something. 1111 is a mirroring number, which means that whatever you were thinking about, it's now in front of you, or at least something in front of you in relation to what you were thinking about is actually in reach. This could be, maybe you were thinking about taking a specific trip to see, well, that's really specific, a place that you used to visit with some friends. Maybe you were thinking about going there again by yourself. It's kind of a nostalgic thing. And let's say you were scrolling through Facebook and you see an image of that location, right? And you're like, should I go there? Yeah, you should go there. But within the span of a week, you really should have done it then, because that's when you were more primed to doing it. Maybe you were just feeling happier in general, so you were more likely to leaving your house and actually going there. Ooh. Yeah, pretty switched on. What's next? Oh, I think this is more. Cool. 32 for Megan Wonderlin. 32. I instantly got your profession, or at least how you feel when you're working or figuring out that profession. It's good, yeah, it's a profession. And so 32, it would be to stay with one foot in front of the other is what I'm getting. In a sense of keep up your own sense of momentum within that specific area of your life, your profession. And keep your head kind of forward, keep your blinders up, and make sure that no one tries to get involved in what it is that you're pursuing within this specific area of your profession. It could be, let's say you're a nurse and you want to get better at, say, IVs or some part of medicine in nursery, right? And so keep your head down, just study around that topic just by yourself. Don't tell anyone what you're studying within your your field, your colleagues. Don't tell anyone. 32, check. I'm also going to do some in the chat, this live chat, just so that it doesn't feel like I'm constantly possibly ignoring you or just reading out these ones. I don't want you guys to have your questions just disappear. I want to be able to go back and forth. So I'll do some on my paper. I'll do some in the chat as well. Okay, so I've just done two. Let's go to the chat and do two. Let's do two twos. Austin, thanks for the donation, $4.99. He said, hey Ryan, I don't have any specific number sequence, but being that you're channeling, I was wondering if any beings have any messages for me. Thanks. For Austin. So no messages, but you do have one particular being that is standing wherever I'm seeing him standing. I suppose he's right there in the astral plane. By the way that I'm able to see them is because of my ability to astral project. I can, on demand, open my third eye and see into the astral plane. This often helps me see where it is that I want to go to before I actually end up popping out of my body. Another word for this is astral travel, which I've gotten pretty decent at. And whenever I feel or read one of your messages, I pick up on your vibration, and that vibration basically sets the destination, the coordinates for my third eye. Then I start to see what's around you. I start to receive images, words, and visions from things that are tuned into your vibration already, such as your spirit guide and or other types of beings around you. And this one is just standing there, smiling a little bit. And this dimension is really weird because he's in a part of a blue cube. These places don't often make much sense. But he hasn't got a specific question. He's saying you're doing all good as you are. And you know what? I think he's actually someone who's passed on because he doesn't feel like an entity. He feels like a normal person that was alive at one point. I'm just looking at questions. I see 537 all over, says Bobby. 537. 537. No, that can't be that. That's too simple. 537. You see a lot when you're driving. I'll see your response in the chat. Tell them, Ryan. Any messages for me, says Leonardo. Let's see if I can get a picture of your face and make it easier. I noticed that when I'm on a psychedelic, like San Pedro, if I open up my laptop, I can read everything about everyone. It's insane. And because I still have that familiarity of that certain headspace when looking at an image, I can still kind of sense it when I'm looking at your chat, so make it a little easier. Where'd you go? For you, disappeared in the chat. See, it moves so quickly. Write it again, maybe I'll be able to see it. Hey Ryan, I see a lot of 3-3 and any messages? 3-3s? 3-3s for you, says Hermetic Alchemist 47. 3-3 from Hermetic Alchemist. Okay, so I basically got a snippet. For you. I'm excited. Basically, your studies. The message I'm getting is when it comes to your studies in the occult, you might have some tendencies to bury your head in it and kind of not tell that many people, although you'll tell a lot of people that are actually already involved in Hermeticism or some type of occult practice. But the specific thing that you're doing all the time that's taking up the most of your time. 33, I'm getting strong messages for you to not tell anyone about it at all. See, a lot of beings tend to say similarly the same things I've noticed. They want people who are practicing something to not tell others about their craft. And I think it's because when it comes to humanity, we tend to just blur everywhere about what it is that we're doing. We tend to tell everyone our business. But it has different repercussions for specific people. With you in particular, people are going to just hate everything that you're doing. You know, two individuals in particular are going to hate what you're doing. And so the message for you, Hermetic, is when it comes to the thing that you're doing, your occult practice, the thing that you're doing in private, hidden, away from people, don't tell anyone at all, because there are two specific people that are close to you that will actually aggressively get mad at you. True to Mark says, hey Ryan, I'm curious on what's my reading. Why do you feel or see? Oh, what do you feel, see? Also keep up the content, fam. Awesome. I love your thumbnail. Did you do that? Awesome. Let me just write down a couple of these super chats. I should have time. Okay. First off, I feel that you're excited to get a response. I also feel you're watching the screen. So I'm gonna have to kind of push through that to get, can you get more specific? What is it you would like to know? Because there's a lot of stuff coming through, and a lot of it is just your life. It's not really anything in particular. Nothing that you don't already know. Open Eyes says, I see 23 a lot. I just saw one in the chat. 23 would be if you're particularly young, or to say you're a young adult, of around that age, you're going to start seeing 23s and 24s. This is essentially a number which says, keep an eye out for a particular love interest that if you end up being romantically involved with her, for you specifically, you'll end up experiencing a lot of, say, joyous moments of that specific age range era. But really, there isn't anything negative here. It's just do it, have fun, and then once it's over, you're only going to have positive feelings towards the individual. Okay, everyone, no super chats for the next 10 minutes. I just want to make sure I can catch up with everyone so far and get back to the ones that I missed last time. As you can see, everything is... Okay, done that one. Check. Here's one. Dylan217, can you tell me what 818 means? I see it a lot, and can you me what beings of light are with me and what they're, I'm gonna have to read that in slow-mo so that I can comprehend or change the grammar a little bit. Can you tell me what 818 means? I can tell you what that means first before I get to the rest of your question. 818 means, okay, so 8s are usually money related. They mean that you're gonna come into prosperity. And so whenever you see an 8, usually it indicates that the ideas that you're having are gonna yield quite a lot of income or material possession, you know? And when you've got a 1 in the middle, it means that your thoughts at any given point of time can generate this material wealth. Here's the thing though, you got the 1 right in between the two 8s, which means it's gonna be brief, okay? That idea that you might end up getting will disappear pretty quickly if you don't act on it then and there. And the thing is it will come up one time, like the opportunity to think like that. Maybe you'll be sat there and you'll just have a moment within your day to be like, when or how should I make this specific amount of money? and then all of a sudden everything is aligned perfectly in front of you. Your laptop's open, there's some pop-up there, or maybe you just walked out of a, let's say, a live stream when someone was talking about a specific occupation. You know, all these things kind of line up to help steer your mind in a specific direction of focus. That will only happen again one time after you miss it the first time. Okay, so 818 is essentially it's an opportunity to make something, to make money, and the opportunity comes up once, maybe again after that, but it's very scarce. Thanks, Vanessa, for the donation. You're awesome. Done 23. Awesome. You're running curious on what am I reading? That was Trudermark. I have to get you to get specific. Thank you for this donation. You're cool too. Rain Pratt says, I've been seeing 222, 444, and 333 a lot. If you could look into at least one, I'd really appreciate it. Much love. Okay, you guys can continue with the super chat. I've been able to keep up. I got a new system now. I just scroll up and slowly scroll down at my own pace. That way I can keep up with everything that's coming in. Okay, so 222 is one of those numbers again, where actually for you, it would deal with your motivation towards doing something. Usually it's when you're motivated to do something, you keep your mouth shut, right? You don't tell anyone because they might take you out of alignment. They might discourage you. But for you, you're having a hard time getting encouraged for something, right, during those moments. And so my advice to you would be to take a breather, relax, and try to get rid of whatever stress that you have going on within your life at that present point of time. Because when you're stressed out, you don't feel very optimistic. You don't feel like taking chances, right? And so if you see 222, that's, I think people would call it a Hail Mary, right? That's something that comes along that if you acted on would make your life better. But because you're in a deficit, because you're not really feeling up to it, because life is stressing you out, you might not take that chance. And so if you can just relax, calm down, I like to jump in the pool, take a breath, maybe even just take a little snooze, right? Just sleep a little bit, or watch a show. That will allow your stress level to go lower, having you become more ready, more willing and able to act on the 222, all right? When you see the 222, write down whatever's around you. It might be an ad, it might be something which will take your life into a specific direction that will make you a little happier. And just be aware of your optimism state. Are you shooting it down? Because if you shot it down in that moment, that's something that you should have gone for. So write that down, then take a snooze, then relax, and then go back to it when you can. All right, 444 is a grounding number. And it's funny if you're seeing them in this sequence, it's because 444 means that if you had taken action on that one thing, you would have set up your life in a very particular way, usually in a way that's related to the previous number, right? So if you would have acted, your life would have never been the same ever again. 333, again, it's that one person, it's one person this time. If she comes along and says something, she can very easily knock you out of alignment with your goals. You know, if you're already in that state where you're manifesting, or you're building something already, you've already taken off. Very quickly, this person can say one thing to you and you'll drop it, right? Usually it's someone who's very close to you. Cool. This is awesome. Jinx says 1144. Thank you for your donation. You've been trying to email me. I remember actually, I got back to one of your emails. It's a mess over there. I'm gonna find you right now. It was on Facebook, right? And then I'll keep it open for later. Okay, cool. Awesome! This is awesome. I'm gonna try to do it a little quicker, right? I like doing this. This is really fun. By the way, guys, if you want to get involved in the manifestation live stream that's happening over on Instagram after this live stream, literally straight after, I'll just go on Instagram and go live. Then head on over to Twitter, search Ryan_J_Cropper. It's the same name as my Instagram account. And you'll find a post, a video, me talking about this phone, and how it got me to where I am today, right? Traveling the world, and I'm comfortable, right? Find that video and post in your questions about manifestation. They'll stay there static. I'll be able to go through them all on my live stream after this one over on Instagram, right? And don't forget to hit follow, because then of course I'm going to be doing this more often. You don't want to miss out on getting your questions read. 11:44 for Jinx. 11:44. I instantly get an alarming sensation showing up, right? Meaning, if you're seeing it, it's probably caused to panic. It's whatever you're not doing. And also, I'm getting the message, whatever's happening around you, be super aware, like hyper focus, because you might need to get out of that situation as soon as you can. It's more like a warning for future times to come. Should I do a random channeling? Should I just channel anything and see what happens? Shall I have it play? I can make it, if I get really into it, it can start using my face. So it gets weird. Hardcore Head 86 says, "Hey Ryan, is there any messages from anything for me?" Come on. Yeah, there is. There is. Your diet. I get a nagging voice. All right, a nagging voice is coming through. It's a woman, an elderly woman. She's really frustrated at your diet. I think she's just over protective. She's too much in your business when it comes to what you're doing and what you're putting in your body. But she cares about you, so she's saying, change your diet. This happens a lot, by the way, in the astral plane. I've watched this happen to people. It's horrible to watch, because what will end up happening is I'll astral project, I'll see someone in the astral plane and they're asleep, right? You could be asleep in your bed. Imagine this, you're asleep in your bed. I'm there too, but you can't see me. You're just dreaming in your bed. I'm in the astral plane, and I'm watching a bunch of dead people yelling at you. Okay. And it's weird because they often perform some weird feats of acrobatics, in the sense that they might be levitating and be dead like this, just parallel to the ground, head up, staring at you in the face. And they'll be yelling at you. And usually what they do is they project. They project their violence, their anger, their frustrations, their regrets, their worries. You know, if they didn't take care of themselves, they're gonna be yelling at you to take care of yourself. If they didn't do well in the relationship, they'll be yelling at you, telling you to do the right thing. And they honestly think that they're gonna be able to put a message across to you if they yell hard enough in your face, loud enough in your face. And every now and then, this specific reading, it felt like someone was just doing that to you. They're not necessarily related to you. They know of you, and they were just yelling at you. Notes for hardcore. Jalen. Hey, Jalen. How's it going? Thank you for the donation. Hey, Ryan. I have been seeing 222 and 555 a lot. Now, what does it mean? And any messages? I'm going to focus on 555. I did 222 already in this live stream. So for the sake of repetition, I'm going to go with 555 because I haven't done that yet here. 555 feels, if I need to learn to trust myself a little bit more, because they come quickly. They do. Straight away, I got the overwhelming feeling of love. All right, motherly love, in the sense that your mother is looking at you. She probably does this in private, and she supports everything that you're doing. You know, and the thing is she has this sense of love where she knows ahead of time where you're gonna end up. She can see the pattern. She can see your behavior. And she feels nostalgic when she watches you. She's seen it a dozen times, and with other people. And so she's supportive of your journey here when it comes to your life, which is pretty nice. Oh yeah, by the way, just to give you a little bit more information on channeling, the loudest signal comes through the clearest, right? Everyone gets I get a data dump as to everything that's happening within your life. And the loudest thing stands out. Ooh, this was gonna be cool. Cynthia Nagaswaran, I think that's how you say your name. You probably butchered it. I apologize. Thank you for the donation. Can you channel and tell me a career that would be right for me, or any messages that are coming from me? And I've been seeing 1111 recently. Thank you. First thing I want to say is, you've been seeing 1111 recently whilst you're in this headspace of a career. I'm instantly getting that you need to become more aware of the moment. You need to pause more. You need to be able to develop this. No, okay. You need to basically be able to section your time just to give yourself the ability to become aware of a moment where you're doing nothing. Just, you basically need to be able to create time where you're doing nothing or even thinking about nothing, which is weird because you're thinking about careers, right? So, like, from my logical headspace, I'd say to you, well, if you're thinking about careers, then 1111, something in front of you is indicating to you to take action because there's a career opportunity in front of you, right? As within, so without. But for you specifically, I'm not getting that. For you specifically, I'm getting, you need to learn how to just slow down, to be able to be present. Not necessarily because something's going to show up, but because you need to be able to give that thing an opportunity to fly by you in slow motion so that you can catch it. And to do that, you need to slow down and you need to get into the habit of just being aware and not necessarily being focused on any type of thing. Just being. There we go. Can you channel? Yeah, that was the full message for you. Yeah. Sierra, to destination. Thank you. Hey Ryan, I just need a message for direction. Okay. Message for direction. So you need to. With the other one, she needed to slow down. With you, you need to get rid of noise. Noise that distracts you. So things in your environment that are constantly grabbing your attention. To help with the direction of your life, to help you gain clarity as to what to do next, I would suggest putting yourself in environments which are quiet. Parks, libraries, somewhere where you can actually think how you used to think, you know? Back in the day, we would just sit there, and before life kind of bugged you down a little bit, with a little smile on your face, you used to just be able to sit there and just breathe, right? You need to be able to get back into that state. I'm getting a very strong signal that you need to be able to put yourself in similar states that you used to be in, which gave you that collectiveness of mind. Because when you get there, you'll be able to think properly, so that you'll be able to adequately see the next thing to do in life and take action. Wah! He's only doing super chats. Ha! Challenge accepted. What about 4-4? I see it all the time. 4-4 is not the stability number, but you want to think of it in the terms of standing on two legs. You're on one leg in life. You've gotten very good at standing on one leg, right? Someone can kick that and they'll probably break their leg before they knock you down. It's a sign that for you, although this is great, it would be good to start developing the other leg, to start making yourself more secure with the things that you already do that are working for you. Not necessarily because someone's going to come along and just sweep you and have you fall on your face, but because, you know, it's just good to be able to stand on two legs. It takes less energy for you to be able to function within your life because you're very stable. You know, you don't have to be focusing so much on doing those particular things because you're doing very good. That way you'll be able to free up your mental energy to focus on other things and to develop your current situation even more. So it's a security number for you. Ooh, what happened there? Scroll back up so you can catch these super chats. Rebecca Sanders, thank you for donation. You're awesome. General career and love advice. Lucky number 921. All right. It's funny. I instantly got your personality. Let's do this. I instantly got your personality. Love advice, man. From a guy's perspective, I'm not really doing anything. Oh, okay. Okay, love advice. Well, I'm just sorting through everything to give you the right piece of advice. Because the first thing I got was you're not really stable when it comes to, you're not really in an area of life, within your life, where you're stable in the sense that you're not really living or glued to one location, you know? And so your love life really is airy in the sense that you'll tend to meet a lot of people while you're traveling. Advice-wise, you tend to deal with it pretty well. It's more of a future thing though. Let's get zero in on now. Do you worry about not finding that guy due to you? Okay, so low self-esteem issues. All right, there we go. That's really simple. Clear piece of advice. Just extracted from that whole thing. You need to believe in yourself way more when it comes to how attractive you are and your personality. People, when they see you and speak to you, they actually enjoy a lot of you, more than you currently are aware of. If you just focus on your strengths as a character, you can ask people around you, what parts of me do you find interesting the most, or what parts of me do you like the best? If you, extract that data and really lean into those qualities of yourself, but then just kind of don't worry about meeting someone. Trust me, you'll meet the person that you'll be with for a while. Let's keep going. 220 people watching. Thank you for tuning in. Wow, that is 222. The reading of myself. Like the video if you would like to see more of these videos in the near future. After the first one, I was wondering if I could or should continue with these live streams, but yeah, I mean, if it's working, I'll keep doing it, you know. The LJ Taylor. It's just a donation. Thanks. I really appreciate it. I really do. Hardcore Head. Another one. Haha! There's another donation from Hardcore Head. Is there any messages about my future? Yeah, like a really hard one. Hardcore Head. Hard one. Harsh one. Everyone hits rock bottom, you know? But with you specifically, the way in which you hit rock bottom, even though it's temporary, it's hard. It's I instantly get this feeling of struggling, you're in the dark, and you really are lost in the sense that you don't know or even know how to ask for help. It feels like that mentality was kind of fed over time, like by you consistently thinking about how hopeless the situation was, to the point where you feel like no one really knows how to approach you with your problem. They really don't understand. But then eventually you just snap out of it and stand up. That issue within your life can be avoided completely. And they're saying that you could do without it entirely. It was kind of unnecessary as to how it came about. And the way that it came about was through your behavior. Apparently you started to lose your composure when it comes to you as a person. You started getting very open, very loud, very. You might have been drunk. You know, these feel like these feel like sensations that happen to a person when they're either drunk or they're going through something in the moment due to some type of stimulus. Maybe they've heard something bad news, but in this case, it feels like, um, yeah, an altered state. If you ever find yourself going downhill and you are either drinking or going out with your friends or doing something that could potentially make you go down further, it could be anything that can make you go down further, slap yourself in the face and get out of it completely. Choose not to go out and drink, or choose to stay home instead and watch something that will lighten your mood. Because it happens within a period of at least 3 weeks. You've got 3 weeks where you can go down at any time to this level, you know, that can be avoided, and is preferred to, they prefer it not to even show up in your life at all, not even to happen at all, right? So there's that. There's that. I can really, yeah. You have three beings telling you that, and I can feel their personalities, you know. They're definitely male, but they're not from this earth. They haven't reincarnated before. They're kind of darker. If you were to astral project, you'll see them. They'll be more like shadow beings. Okay. Ryan Grimes. Hey Ryan, I saw you in our last live stream. Yeah. And the one before that, you've been like the past 3 live streams. This is awesome. Thank you for the donation again. Hi, hope all is well. Much love. Awesome. Shannon Hines says, I received a channeled message that there is an ancestor trying to contact me. Any more info? Also, I asked this last time, but the number 34. See if I write that down. Shannon. Channel message. I need to see more of you because your signal is faint. The ancestor that's trying to contact you is still trying to contact you. Yeah, she's I don't get the message though. She's not. The way she feels, you know, when you kind of focus on something for a long period of time, it could be your TV and everything else is kind of blank. Well, she's so concerned about contacting you that she's not even aware of me at all. She's not tuned in or anything. I can see her. She can't see me. I can tell you that she's doing it from a state of urgency, so I can feel her emotions. All right. She's slowly become aware that she really doesn't like me. So let's step back from that. Ooh, no. All right. So what just happened there was on ayahuasca, when you contact ancestors or anyone that's really far back, their mind tends to materialize in particular ways. And if they get angry or mad or frustrated, they'll tend to take on a particular form. Sometimes they're insects, sometimes they're animals, and sometimes, most of the time, they're just a whole bunch of legs and eyes coming out from the back. It's kind of like watching a representation of a tumor on the outside of a person's energy body, only it's alive and it's growing and it's got legs and stuff like that. The more I started to poke for questions, the more I started to see this part of her coming out and reach over here. And so I'm gonna have to step back from that one because they don't feel too good. Bring out some sage. Any more info? Also, I asked this. Okay, but 34, I can deal with 34. 34 is actually coming from a different person to you, a different being that's trying to contact you. 34 was a message that says, look up. It's another person, a little younger. She's also a woman. She's saying to look up. She was on Earth before, then she passed away. At the time, she simply said, look up. And I think what she was trying to put across to you was there's something that you're not paying attention to. No, it wasn't 34 or, sometimes people miss the numbers that they're saying. It was something about someone trying to contact you, another person, someone who's actually alive, you know? I'm feeling like it's a boy, and they were trying to get your attention, and you weren't focused on them, right? It could be, it's young energy, youthful energy. They had something that was really important to say, and it might not be too late, but if you are able to communicate to them based on their need at the time, you can help squash a lot of problems within their life in the future. Because sometimes when you're not addressing someone's needs or concerns and they're young and impressionable, it can stick with them. And then long-term wise, it can cause a problem within their behavior, or how they perceive life. It's just youthful energy. And so that's the message that I'm getting. Someone's trying to contact you, a natural person, and you need to look up, or in other words, pay attention. Peter. Oh, I'm gonna go back to the ones on the notepad from a couple of weeks ago, and then I'll get back to these chats. All right, they're there. I'm not gonna miss any. They're right there. Let's check over on Twitter real quick to see if anyone is wanting to get involved on the live stream that's happening soon. How long have I been live for? Oh no, I can't tell. Six people. Huh. How do I manifest the life I want to achieve at a young age? How often do you have to actively try to attract something you want? I like that. These are good questions. Cool. We'll go live soon. What was I gonna do? That was it. Check the time real quick and then get to the ones in the book. I've been live for 48 minutes. Huh. Is it possible to feel energy shifts during quarantine in general? Yes, it is. I can feel everyone's state of mind and their energy as a collective. And due to this, I can generally tend to feel their emotions, or at least the direction of their behavior ahead of time. It's kind of like when you feel someone's emotions in front of you. Let's say you can feel that they're getting ramped up emotionally. You can generally predict as to where they're going to end up in the conversation. 2 seconds, 5 seconds, a minute later, 30 seconds later, right? Sometimes you can count down to it. It's the same with people. When you catch everyone's emotional state, you can generally predict how they're going to end up reacting a second, 2 seconds, 30 seconds later. And even a month later, you can do readings on the collective if you're really in tune with them. Seeing 115, oh wait, I don't want to do the paper, sorry. Gratitude, I'll get to that one in a sec. Gratitude attitude, €5 donation, thank you. 434. 434. It's the same, similar thing to the last one. Not looking up. There's someone trying to get your attention. Only with you, you're not taking them seriously. Although what it is that they're trying to bring to your attention isn't really that problematic to an adult mind, to this individual, for them it's real, for them it's a problem. And so my advice for you would be just to at least pretend, right? Or at least find the area of their problem that you can actually relate to in regard to you also seeing it as a real life problem. Try to empathize, in other words, with this situation so that you're not smiling and so that you are actually paying attention to them. So they're feeling hurt too. Gratitude, attitude. And that's not normally your state of being, don't get me wrong, it's not normally how you are. But everyone has a shadow, everyone has a side of their personality that they can't keep in check 100% of the time, stay on top of 100% of the time. And so during those moments, your unconscious moments, it would be good just to pay attention as to how you speak to people or your reaction to people when they're speaking. Okay. Hey there. Little Salem. You play. Ow! You bit me! Thank you. This little one just jumped on my feet. We named him Salem after the witch trials. And after Sabrina. We also have another one.
Hey, come here, fatty.
This one's name is Sophie. She got big belly. What? Very playful. Now she's attacking my feet too. Sagar Gupta. Hey Ryan, any messages for me, please let me know. I got another yelling one. When someone is yelling a message in my ear, definitely interrupts meditations. Yeah, that's not really one. I mean, I can tell you it, but it's not really one that you need to. It's literally this thing just projecting. It's saying you need to get your life in order. Hush, hurry, like hurry. But the reality is you're doing fine. It's just projecting. It's one of those spirits, those regret spirits. We need to come up with a name for these spirits. What should we call them? Resentful spirits? Resentful spirit. A resentful spirit. Hey, don't play with the tripod. I've been getting 69 a lot and 444 even more. Any insights on these things? Sure. Let's do it. But first, let me just move these kittens from the tripod.
Hey, come here. Come here. Come here, Sam.
Okay, 69 and 444. 69, the first thing I got was influence. If you're in a particular stage in your life right now where influence is a thing, meaning one second you're one type of person, the next you're another, simply because people around you are really changing your character a lot, like you're in this flux state where you haven't really figured out or really grounded yourself into a specific personality yet. I mean, you know who you are, but it's constantly changing. 69 for you in that sense would be to be wary of the ones that are putting you into the wrong direction in life, because they will have you partake in circumstances which you could do without. You know, circumstances that cause you a lot of grief or a lot of problems in your life and can actually tie you a knot in a brain. They will cause your mind or even your personality to turn into such a personality whereby it won't be able to figure out its problems in the future, you know? I think it was Einstein that said, I created a mind within my past that cannot figure out my problems of today, something like that. And 444 is a grounding number, and it's 3/4 because that one in the beginning, meaning that one in the beginning is one to look out for in your situation, in the sense that if that one person influences you for a long enough period of time, it's going to set the foundation for your headspace moving forward. Oh, wow, he's doing readings? Yeah. Nine 11 is one of those difficult numbers to read because the collective has a lot of information on 9/11, and so when I'm putting in information, I'm often getting a lot of what happened during the Twin Towers. It's basically, it's kind of like putting your head in social media and seeing all of these notifications about one particular thing, you know? So having that take place. That's what happens when I pop my head over into 9/11. And so outside of 9/11, I get a whole bunch of beings that are just watching everything. And it's hard, really difficult to pinpoint on a specific message for you if you're seeing 9/11. You missed my super chat, says Rainbow. Let's have a look. Let's scroll up. Oh, I don't think I got there yet. I've never done ayahuasca. I keep on sensing disembodied beings exactly how you explain right now. Yeah, it's weird, right? Hardcore Head 86 says, thanks for that information, Ryan. Is there any advice for what my career could be like as I progress through life or anything? So, yeah. If you want a career, you're gonna have to take a step to the left and really reevaluate what you want to do in life, and try your hardest not to be pulled into the direction of what everyone else is doing, because what I'm seeing for you is you get pulled into what everyone else is doing, and because of that, while you're trying to think about what you're doing for the long run, you know, the long haul, while you're thinking about the long haul. And because of this, you're not really doing what you want, and so you don't like those jobs. And that shows off through a type of attitude, a sense about you, and then the jobs don't really last that long, you know? You can cut all of that out simply by doing what you want. But if you want to be able to really pave the way for a great career, you're going to need to get bored, and you're going to need to give yourself at least a month where you're doing absolutely nothing but creating and doing something that comes from you. Not necessarily that everyone else wants to hear or see, but that you want to hear and see. Only what you want to hear and see, because that's going to have a knock-on effect to your personality, which will have you shaped into a specific type of person. And that person attracts the career that's suited for him. Suited for him. Boop, just making sure I'm getting all the questions. It's becoming increasingly difficult. Wait a second, I just go over here. You cold?
I called you?
Yeah.
Just now? Are you still on live?
Uh-huh.
Oh, cool. No, I'm just taking a picture.
Understandable, thanks for replying. Cool. The ground says 11:11 most days, or 11:11 most days, or my loved ones show me 111 and 333. Huh. 11:11 to you, the ground. I get that your life, at least in terms of the as within, so without, your thoughts being shown to you in your reality, that's surrealism. You have many opportunities for your thoughts to be manifested in front of you. And in fact, I would even go so far as to say at least 60%. I don't want to bring out a number there, but it's just what feels like the majority of your life here is set up in such a way whereby a lot of what you need is in front of you. But that would be the 111. The 333, that's interesting. Usually it's different for other people. For you, it's a little different. Is this correct? It's another support number, meaning you're supported by people. They might not necessarily, I'm getting their mindset, they might not necessarily want to support you, like they kind of resent your age and certain things like that, but somehow they're finding the power to actually want to support you in specific situations, and they're open to supporting you in the future. So my advice to you would be, if you ever get an idea to do something, just be open with it and ask for help. You're more than likely going to speed up that manifestation of sorts. And the 11:11 one for you is to be wary of when you're asking for stuff. Be wary of your attitude. Because although you have that surrealism kind of built into your life path, you know, how your thoughts of what you want often show up in front of you, if you take it for granted, people who would have normally given you opportunities can just say no, they can take it away from you. You know, not only that, but it puts off a specific character, which makes people not necessarily want to help you so much, and they can end up resenting you more. But that's only if you're like having an off, like if your character's really being inflated, your ego's being inflated, and it's just not really coming through. You know what you're asking, it's not really coming through in the nicest way possible. Bottom frag. Is there real life Rasengan? Oh, that's the one where Naruto gets the ball and spends the energy in a specific way. And then his son upgrades it and throws the energy, the key ball, and you can't actually see it, and then it makes an impact on the thing that it's hitting. Yeah, there is. There is a Gaia series on Gaia called Cosmic Disclosure, where Corey Good actually discusses how he went into a government space program where the government was taking in these psychics, and these psychics were being trained, their abilities were being amplified by technology-specific devices that go near their head and activate the pineal gland. And Corey was saying that there were people there that could actually move their energy throughout their body and rotate it throughout their body, generating more mass, and it would come out of their hand and they would throw it to the point where it would actually dent a tin can and move objects, you know? So in a sense, that's a Rasengan, you're channeling ki. Please give me the vaguest number reading and tell me the beings around me that I'm sorry and I've learned my lesson. Okay. Please give me the vaguest number reading. The vaguest number reading. Zero? One? Not necessarily together, just zero and one. The beings that you're sorry to don't have anything to say, and so they're not putting across any energy that I can formulate into a number. So I can go backwards too, you know. Sometimes people see numbers and there's a meaning behind it. I can take meanings and put numbers in front of them. You know, kind of like creating a vibrational code to your situation, it's called. But they don't have anything to say. There's 4 of them. They look pretty cool. They're white. But they got like a translucent skin to them. Big eyes. They're pretty light. Oh wait. It's your thumbnail. Could that have been correct? Or was I just channeling from my subconscious mind that saw a thumbnail? I'd say my subconscious mind probably saw that ahead of time. But either way, there's definitely 4 of them. What messages are you getting for me? I think my subconscious is just getting in the way of that last one. I need to make sure I stay detached from my subconscious mind. Because when you enter into a realm full of thought, you get a whole bunch of things coming in and out. You get the minds of other people, you get the thoughts of other people, but then there's also the thoughts of yourself. What messages? The 9/11 one was a problem too, mainly because of that as well. I'm not getting anything. What messages are you getting for me, says Antonio? I get that there's a specific guide. She looks young, but she's not young. She's super old. And she smiles. She's just smiling at you. Okay? Not necessarily a message, just smiling at you. Cool. Back to normal. want to go back to the other one actually and see if I can read more out of your situation. No, it's empty. It is empty. Dead signal. Weird. I've been seeing numbers that seem to be following a sequence. First, it was 111, then after a week or so, 222, and now the 333s are starting. All right. When they're in sequences like that, they always mean they mean an entire story essentially. So if you're seeing 111 and then you see 222, that 222 will be related to 111. And the 333s will be related to the 222s, okay? Generally, they will tell a story. It's a sequence as a story. Or in other words, a paragraph in most cases. So I'm going to read that in a second, but first, I'm going to move the cats out of the way because they're making so much noise. So a little distracted.
Hey, what are you doing?
Maybe just play with this for you.
Oh, I know. Look at this one. Okay, so 111 for Two Storm and David. 111 for you would be similar one to the other guys. I guess you're of the similar age because it tends to pocket people. Energy tends to be similar for specific groups of people within specific age ranges. Whereas yours, it would be focus. You need to focus more on what you want out of life, because you know it can be done, rather than focusing on other people. All right, and 222 would be other people completely pull you under and take you completely off of course, to the effect by where you will actually forget the things you wanted to do in the first place. I can actually see it for you where you start doing something, right? Something that would actually carry throughout your life, something really well. Something that works out really well. But then, let's say you get distracted for an entire week. There is no way you're going to be able to conceive or remember that thing that you started entertaining in the beginning. And so you need to keep your head down for at least 2 weeks, you know? Write down your ideas and everything that you want to achieve within your life, and make sure that you can get back to it at a later date. 333s, it's a similar thing to the 222s in the sense that these people are very persuasive, all right? And another one for Shaman 05 line says, any ancestors or beings trying to contact me or watching over me. Who are they? What's the message? Also, are they asking for anything? Funny you say that, because the first thing I got was that they were trying to ask you something. Let's find out. Oh, this is cool. This is like a whole... They've been trying to ask you things for a while. And they are... Man. They're kind of tired. There's 3 of them. They're in their own space, like the dimensional pocket. And they just seem kind of deflated. It's not your fault. It's their ability to connect to you isn't very strong, not as strong as they would like it to be. They've been trying to give you positive reinforcement within your life. They've been trying to give you hints as to things that you can do, and they've been getting happy. Like they get excited, and they're like, okay, tell them this, tell them this. But when they try to get the signal to you, it kind of just cuts out halfway through. Who they are, they don't really have a name. Most of the time, it's just vibration. The message, it's many messages, you know, that they've missed out on. They don't really have a particular one now in this moment to give you, other than just how they feel and kind of deflated. Is there anything you can do? I wonder. And I wonder if that was me that actually told you that, or them. Because very quickly that came through. They might have just plugged into my mouth. Is there anything that you can do? Do you have crystals? Amethyst crystals, and do you have an altar, like something set up? It could be a table in your room. If you don't have it, set one up where you write down on a piece of paper next to a crystal. Get these three things. Get a crystal, amethyst crystal, make sure it's a pointy one, not a geode. Have yourself a little tea light candle, okay? And have yourself a piece of paper and write down on it the code. Make sure it starts off with an S, right? And make it at least 15 digits long. Just make it up if you want, right? And this code represents you can look at it like coordinates, you can look at it like a radio channel, but essentially it will ground your awareness to an idea that this code represents or means that these beings are on the other side of this signal, and that as soon as you light up the candle and you sit in front of this altar of sorts, this crystal is going to beam up your consciousness to these beings and bridge the connection and make it stronger, right? They're really liking that one. Try that out. And that was for Shaman 05 line. That was cool. That was the strongest communication I've had during this entire live stream. It was like I was actually there and I was watching. There was no lag, nothing. Hello Ryan, can you tell me what 69 meaning is? 69 for Dest. 69 would be for you. Try to pick yourself up so that you can stay motivated during the times where it might seem easier just to distract yourself. You know, during times where it might seem easier just to go out and to communicate with friends and to socialize, try not to do what's easy. Try not to do that. Give yourself a little bit of extra time to sit with yourself and work through your thoughts as opposed to distracting yourself. That is the message. That is the message. Message received. What time is it? I need to go check the time because I'm going to go live on Instagram soon about the manifestation. Q&A. It's been 1 hour and 18 minutes. I think I can end it here. I think so. I'm going to run to the other room real quick. Okay? And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to answer the last 3 super chat questions. And then I'm going to exit the live stream. When I exit the live stream, I'm going to write down any pre-existing live chats, super chats that I didn't get to. I'm going to write them down in my book. I'm also going to do another one in maybe a couple of weeks, another numerology reading. And who knows, maybe I'll spruce it up and do something different in that one too. you know, channeling wise. And I'll address those ones in the next live stream, okay? So I'll be back in just a moment. Just want to go and get something. And then I'll answer some more questions.